Get in, nerds. We're playing Victoria 3. We've got a lot to do today because we have to see what's going on in Norway and why I'm spending so much money now all of a sudden. So let's get right into it. It's because all of these areas are unincorporated. Oh my goodness, we're going to need to incorporate all of them right away. This is going to be rough. This is going to be very rough, friends. And now we're short on bureaucracy. But hopefully, we can get things going properly by improving the production methods of these industries that we've got going on. So, before we do anything else, though, I'm going to queue up a few more government administrations. And I'm going to put them, let's see, very low populations in these Norwegian states. That's just fine. I'm going to put them in Jutland. No. Yeah. I'm going to put them there. Oh, because we inherited a big construction queue. That's not so bad at all. In fact, that's just fine. Okay, so some of this is temporary. In fact, a large chunk of it is. Okay, phew! That's not so bad. Oh, I also need to integrate Iceland. Again, I'm screwing up my money temporarily, but that's okay. It's going to get us going on speed 2 here. So, for our food industries, we've got new food industries being built. We're just going to use all the same production methods as our existing food industries. That's going to help them out. Textile mills, we got no sewing machines. We're going to add sewing machines to these ones. And that's going to help these new textile mills stay profitable. For the furniture manufactories, this one's not producing any luxury furniture. That's definitely something we want. As well as these mechanized workshops. I'm going to switch over to a hand assembly method for now for these ones, because this green column is the automation production methods. They reduce labor use, and I don't necessarily want that, particularly because tools and coal are very expensive in our market. We got these glassworks in northern Norway not using crystal glass. They should use crystal glass. All these are going to produce more glass as a result of that, which doesn't seem to be doing super great because we have a lead shortage. Alright, so we'll pop that back to that. Oh, we only have one lead mine. Gosh. We need that. So where are we with lead? Yeah, we could definitely double our lead output. Absolutely no problem. So I'm going to queue that up. Again, our finances are feeling quite poorly, but again, that will resolve itself once we've gotten some additional, once we've gotten through our construction queue. So I'm not necessarily worried about it. So I need to remember to go back and do that. I'm going to de-automate these tooling workshops and paper mills to get employment up in these areas. Same with this steel mill. Going to go to hand assembly for that. Chemical plants. Yeah, we'll keep them producing a lot of explosives. Shipyards. The ones in Norway were using reinforced wooden ship method. I'm just going to go back to the wooden ship method. That's going to make them much more profitable. As you can see, based on our stuff here. And then everyone was building military, and we're going to continue to have that going on. Alright, moving over to the urban centers. Let's get everyone... Oh, they were using a higher level market squares. This increases the price of glass significantly, but also makes them more profitable. So we're going to do it. It doesn't make them more profitable. That's just the game making that up. Well, it should be. How's our glass market? Okay, now glass is very expensive. So, yeah, let's drop that back to market stalls. What does that do to glass now? Makes it very cheap. Alright, so we're going to do this one by one. So, I'm going to make this a priority, but for now, let's put I'm going to do the ones in the capital because that's going to be the biggest impact to the market. We're going to put that back to market squares, and that's going to be the best for now. Transport. You have an automation method going on. Urban centers using some transport. I feel like actually this might be the right call. Does that make these more profitable? Certainly not. Alright, that's much better. And then we'll keep them using free churches. Arts academies, we're just going to go to all the new tech. Independent artist, realist art. And that's going to be what that is. For the rural places, livestock ranches, we got to use... Really? You're more profitable without slaughterhouses? I guess it is a pretty high investment of tools. Where are our tool situation? Oh, we can tolerate that. Go ahead and do it. Let's get some cheap meat out here. Iron mines, got to use nitro for the iron mines. Handcarts. Sulfur mines. I'm just going to hit this to change that. There we go. Hopefully that won't disrupt anything too much. And I'm going to go to road carts to keep them more profitable. Logging camps are going to do the same. And we're going to... I think I got everything producing hardwood right now. We certainly need the hardwood, so let's do it. Alright. Development. Let's get all our ports on cargo ports, all our railways producing transport. Some of our barracks are not using skirmish infantry. We're going to go ahead and do that. And that is all she wrote. Political movement to enact census suffrage finally ended. Okay, and that's how we got... oh no, this is a standard of living increase. That's interesting. I wonder how that wound up happening. But I'm not going to complain. So, yeah, our standard of living has gone up significantly. Huh, curious. Maybe it's just the increase in the amount of services available in the market. Services are quite available, so I'm not really necessarily interested in getting our urban centers using more advanced methods, because... Let me see, how's glass? How's glass in the market? Glass is doing pretty okay in the market. And we're going to increase glass output here by 30. So, might be good once we get this lead mine finished to build up that glass situation. And I think we're going to do that. So we'll let that go on to speed 3. Our bureaucracy cost per level is actually not that much higher, which is a surprise to me. I would have thought that would have been the case, but it isn't. So now that we've changed up our production methods, our number of unemployed people is insignificant in southern Norway, and in northern Norway, we've still got a block. This is good. This means people are going to be moving to these states to fill in those jobs. Do we have any buildings that are not able to employ fully? It doesn't look like it in western Norway. How about eastern Norway? We're building up a lot of industry in these places. But hopefully that will mean more people moving in, and that will be good for the places. Or at least it won't necessarily be bad to have people moving in there. We have a large construction base now. It looks like Norway had a very significant amount of construction sectors. So now that we've gotten that lead mine increased, we're going to go to crystal glass for this, and that's going to have us producing a lot more glass than we had before. That's going to be very good. Oh, our arms industries are not all using smooth bores. Let's do that. You always keep arms industry. I always keep arms industries at the highest level of production because Keeping them at the highest level of production means that you'll always be able to flex upward. That's the thing about arms industries. They need to be able to flex upward if there's a war. It's critical. Some of these buildings are subsidized and some of them are not. These should all be subsidized. All the railways should be subsidized. Do you want government-run railways? One government shares. Election. Oh. Our parties are different. Well, they have different names. Let's take a look. We have Venstre. Same two groups as we had in government before. We have free-minded Venstre with the industrialists, Høyre for the conservatives, and the patriotic party still. So, let's see who we can get in our government. We can pull in the industrialists, who are currently in a good place with. I'm inclined to do that, frankly, friends. I'm very inclined. It'll reduce our legitimacy just a little bit. Yeah, let's do it. I don't think it'll necessarily be a problem to have the industrialists in the government. That should be fine. How much are we spending in terms of government funds on construction? About, I think, all of the entire amount for this. I'm going to build a couple more government sectors. This might just be me being silly now. So you'll notice that unemployment and peasant populations have gone down a little bit, and that's partially because a lot of people move to these areas to staff these buildings. So that's a good thing. Only it turns out, actually, now I need more railways to ensure that these places continue to be able to support the buildings that they need to exist. So we're going to do a railway construction, and that construction kind of burst here, and then we're going to give ourselves some time to build up a reserve. I'm going with a few more government administrations because I just really would like to have health system at level 4. But I don't have that yet. It's going to be difficult. Huh. You have a fellow exiled from Hamburg. Interesting. An interesting turn of events. I think the Western Norway Railway is the one that's the most important right now, so I'm going to focus on that one. In terms of changes to make in the government, I would love to go to a presidential republic. The landowners will be furious, as will the Church of Sweden. I wish that were not the case, but unfortunately it seems that it is. As will the armed forces. Gosh, that's really unfortunate. Another time. I could fully separate church and state. It would be nice. It would cost me some authority, which I would like to not have, but on the other hand, that would continue to reduce the power of the Church of Sweden. And again, they like a lot of regressive stuff, so since this is going to be a mostly liberalizing run, I think that would be effective. We're also on mercantilism. Could go to free trade. Landowners would not be happy with that. And the rural folk would not be happy with that, but it wouldn't be terrible. Go to poor laws. Landowners would be unhappy, but everyone else would be unhappy. Do we have unemployment? Only a small amount. We can definitely afford this. Ooh, Fieldworks. Excellent. was trying to think I don't want the industrialists in the government. They'll be mad if I do that. Maybe I'll just use them to get poor laws enacted and then put them back out on the street. Maybe we'll do a little bit of free trade as well. Yeah, I think a bit of free trade would be nice. How much of our money do we make from tariffs? Virtually none. Yeah, I think it's time for free trade. Once again, the landowners are salty about that. But free trade is generally very good for the economy. We got a mountain of bureaucracy now, so I'm going to increase that more as well. Revolution in Oceania, South Australian Peasant Revolt. You get them, South Australia. You free yourselves, peasants. Oh, Finland. You've become free. Huh. This is an interesting turn of events. Our relations with Finland are quite good. Let me see. The primary culture in Finland is Finnish. Finnic, Scandinavian, European heritage. Whereas my primary cultures are also Scandinavian and European heritage. So, if Finland were in my country, that would be very good for me. But on the other hand, this is a chill run. Cross-border investments. Oh, now the boys want universal suffrage. Hey, why don't you chill out? Scandinavian industrialists are interested in making investments in neighboring Hanoverian industries. He stood up, put his hat on, and headed towards the door. At first, it seemed he would leave without another word, but then he turned around and spoke with barely expressed anger. Being accused of lacking in patriotism for where I try to make money isn't just an insult. It betrays a complete lack of understanding of how money is made. Do you think I made what I already have by thinking provincially? An excellent investment that gives us relations and manufacturing tax income, or strong-arm them into investing domestically. Oh, that's fun. This isn't a completely laissez-faire system. In fact, I think they should invest domestically. We're giving them free trade, after all. We have a movement for universal suffrage by the trade unions, but the trade unions are marginalized. They are very few still. Eventually, they will come to dominate our politics, but for now, there aren't many of them, and I can't afford to get everyone big mad over universal suffrage right now. So we're just going to leave that be for the moment. Our finances are really in a rough spot. We're only paying $3,500 a week in interest. So that's not so bad. But we sure will need to get these railways completed and then put a pin in it. Things will be a lot better off once we've gotten the Norwegian states integrated. In particular, John Mayen is just going to be a huge boon to our economy. Indefensible extortion. An orator from the industrialists has gone on a speaking tour across the nation, denouncing mercantilism and praising the value of free trade. When we consider that the theory of our great system guarantees to everyone the full enjoyment of all the fruits of their industry enterprise, it is clear that anything other than the free flow of goods is an indefensible extortion and culpable betrayal of our values. We work towards a common goal, or the industrialists have a truly remarkable speaker among them. Let's say we work towards a common goal. Get that enactment chance up. basically what free trade will do is it will remove all the tariffs on goods in our market, going to and from the market. And sorry, gotta stay hydrated, friends. That's overall really good for our economy, in the medium term. It's going to make our businesses that are doing a lot of exports more profitable, and it's going to save us some bureaucracy. So let's see how our market's been affected. We're still pretty short on coal. And I think that's going to be a long-term thing, yeah, because we don't have any other way to get coal. So yeah, I think our next goal from a coal perspective is to get dynamite. And that'll let us use coal. That'll let us extract more coal, and then after that, it's going to be all imports. Which, wait a minute, does Iceland have capacity for coal mines? No, it doesn't. That's a tragedy. Iceland also has, well, it has a very low population. But that's okay. We can live with that. It should be fine. Let's see what our chances are for this free trade business. We do have a 27% chance of a stall, which is surprising to me. 25% chance advance. That's good. Oh, right, because we do have a certain amount of the government, aka the rural folk, doesn't much care for free trade, and I completely understand that. Because they're farmers and they want to sell their goods here in Sweden. We have a lot of people below minimum standard of living in Schleswig-Holstein. I don't love that, but I'm hoping the invisible hand of the free market will deal with it, because I sure would not like to have a lot of turmoil over here. So why? Oh, I know why. I know why we have a problem in Schleswig-Holstein, because North Germans are discriminated. In Sami, we have a small number of, not a small number, 75,000 Sami people. I don't know what this accent mark means, so I'm going to say Sami for now, but I might be wrong. Finnic and European heritage. They're Finnic and not Scandinavian. Interesting, they have the Ashkenazi people as well. Well, advancement, very good. We're up to 51%. What percentage of Finland is Sami? My understanding was that the Sami people primarily lived in Finland, but clearly I'm not right about that. Huh, interesting. But that having been said, I think liberalizing our citizenship laws will generally help with that. So, we've unlocked triage. This is a production method for barracks that allows for superior wound care. And all it takes is liquor and fabric. It takes a lot of liquor. Is that really a lot of liquor? How much liquor have we got? We got... Oh, we'll be fine. That's absolutely not going to increase the price of liquor that much. Sometimes the game is really not good at anticipating these price changes. So we're just going to go ahead and swap those over. There's quinine. There's a war in Greenland, but I'm not involved in that, so I'm going to go ahead and completely ignore it. The ironclad is spreading to us, as is civilizing mission. That's delightful. You have a good time, Greenland. That having been said, we're still dangerously short on cash. So actually, well, I'm going to implement a new luxury tax. Let's get wine. Luxury tax on wine. I think our consumption tax on fish has run out its usefulness. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And I'm going to use the excess authority to tax luxury clothes and porcelain. That's going to improve our overall finances by a little bit. These are roughly the same amount. Oh Oh, here we go. Yeah, 3.5 thousand and 5.3 thousand, as opposed to about 6.5 thousand total for fish, which were costing 300. That's going to really help our authority situation. And then we just got baking powder, which means we can get our food industries using baking powder, using additional sugar to output way more groceries. And that's just nice. So let's look at our trade routes now. We're selling meat in the United Kingdom. That's not really helping us, so we'll go ahead and get rid of that. We're selling liquor to Prussia, and that has become unproductive, so we can get rid of that. Otherwise, looks as though things are going okay. Here's some concerns. You've seen this event before. Once again, I'm going to weaken the... Let's basalt the industrialists. Industry suffers in Jutland. Competing goods from abroad have led to a slump in demand for products in Jutland, which has raised concerns in that state about our planned reforms. Free foreign trade gives our money and our markets to others, injuring our labor, our industry, and our people. What good are these policies if they do not benefit us? We must alleviate concerns in Jutland. That will reduce enactment chance, which I would rather not do. We must try to convince Jutland of the merit of our reforms. It's a setback, but 15% enactment chance. We must forge ahead with our plans regardless. It might work, it might not. Oh my goodness. My chances are really excellent right now, so I'm going to go ahead and take the enactment success chance from the setback, and I'm going to hope that works out and that I don't have the same situation that I had last time, because I surely don't wish to put myself in a situation where I don't think that'll happen again. Because our enactment chance is so high, and because our chance of a stall is very low, I don't think that's going to happen again. I think we'll be fine. We're in the black financially, and we're about to finish this railway, which is really excellent, truly. So now I think it's time. Let's take a look at our population. We've got basically full gainful employment in eastern and western Norway. We've got 8.25 thousand peasants in northern Norway. Our population is continuing to go up, so that's very good. 2.54 peasants in Norland. 101,000 and 104,000 in Svealand and Jutland. Scania is doing just fine. Full employment here. And then we have some peasant populations in the Danish states. So, and all of our states are going up in population, right? Yes, it does appear that they are. That's wonderful. So we're doing really well, overall, speaking from a growth perspective. We're not paying down this debt very quickly, but we've nearly gotten these states incorporated. And once we do, they'll be paying more taxes, and that'll be just wonderful for us. That'll really help us fix up our finances. So, these coal mines are in Scania. Scania has currently no peasants, so I think at this time we will take just our coal mines and shift over to rail transit as a method. And that helps things out wonderfully. Also, hello. Transport's really cheap. Let's get our urban centers spending some transport to output some more services. That's radical. Excellent, in fact. We're experiencing another shortage of silk. So let's see if we can get more abroad. We can get quite a bit from Russia. It's coming from China, really, but yeah, let's bring in some silk from China. Gone into drafting for free trade. That's wonderful. Moving right along here. For the market squares method, we would need a lot of glass. I think we've got a good amount of glass, a healthy amount of glass. Well, it's not that big. I can't obviously right now build a bunch more glassworks because I don't have the money. But if I switch a few more, urban centers, I'm going to put the urban centers in Norway back to doing market squares. And I think that will help develop a market for glass. Oh, that actually, we could do more. Heck, we'll go all the way. We're doing it. That's going to make glass significantly more expensive, but I'll bring in more glass. Okay, we have a new leader in the intelligentsia, Blostrup Jensen. Jensen! That's interesting. That's really interesting. He's a pacifist. Ooh, I have a chance to... Oh, I already have no colonial affairs. I was thinking of a different run. I was doing colonialism in a different run, and I ended up with colonial affairs when I didn't wish to have colonial affairs. So in a few more... in like another week or so, I'll have these states fully incorporated, with the exception... Oh no, Iceland will be good to go as well. So in another week, we'll have all our states fully incorporated, and then our finances will be doing much, much better. Alright, perfect. Finances are not doing much better the way I thought they were going to be. But that's probably... Okay, so we have 2.66 million in credit taken on right now. We're gaining 16,000 a week. So, mathematically speaking, once we get 20... It'll take us 2 years to get out of the hole. It'll take us 2 years to get halfway out of the hole. That's not fast enough. Can I throw in another consumption tax? I can, but not on anything valuable enough to matter. Alright, well, unfortunately, we're just going to have... We're going to need to reform the government. It's time for a gambit. We're going to put the armed forces and the industrialists into power, and then we're going to hike taxes up. That's going to reduce their attraction by a chunk, but hopefully what that will do for us is it will allow us to put the Venstre back in power with higher attraction. You'll notice the trade unions have become their own party now. They are extremely likely to join Venstre. In fact, I think the chances are really, really high that they will. That'll be interesting. The petite bourgeoisie have also become significant once again. They'll probably become insignificant again, though, once we get free trade passed. And the reason is because right now we have mercantilism, and that means that all of our trade centers are owned by shopkeepers. And shopkeepers have huge tendency to support the petite bourgeoisie. As you can see, you got a lot of shopkeepers, engineers, and bureaucrats in here. When there's much fewer shopkeepers, the petite bourgeoisie get weaker. Anyway, it seems I've chosen to do a third year in this video, so I think I'm going to go ahead and finish out the year. We've got taxes very significantly high, but hopefully what this will do is it will allow us to clear out our debt without completely wrecking standard of living, which is taking a little bit of a dip since, again, I raised taxes, but I think it'll be okay. So now that we've got a positive of about 60,000 per week, that means 3 million per year, which means we'll be able to drop taxes back down in about half a year, if my calculations are correct. 30 weeks, I think. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. But yeah. So hopefully that means by the time we get to the end of 1860, we'll be able to put taxes back down, and then everyone can breathe a little bit. So what else do I need? We've got... Our steel mills are actually not that profitable, but they're not going to be... Gosh, see, the problem is I should just bite the bullet and import me some coal. Prussia's got a lot of coal. Let's get some coal in here. We get some Prussian coal in here. We need too much of it to function, to worry that much about autarky in that way. Prussia's still very pleased with us. We do have a defensive pact. What else is going on in Europe? I noticed the French Republic has taken over a tiny amount of the Rhineland over here. So we'll see what comes of that. Austria and Prussia are... It's very typical for Austria and Prussia to fight each other a lot, but they're not doing it this time. And I think that's okay. Cool. Now you have free trade. Can't do that many more changes. At least changes that we want. Because again, I want guaranteed liberties. Guaranteed liberties is just really, really good for the country. Don't want to go to censorship. Could do poor laws. Decisions. Poor laws would be nice. Would help with things overall. Cost us some bureaucracy. No, let's wait. Let's wait on that. Our number of unemployed is very, very low. So I'm not too concerned about that. There is a movement for universal suffrage, and it's pretty strong. I could take this opportunity. Not quite yet. Gosh, I have a lot of radicals. But I also have a lot of loyalists. I really would just adore to strike while the iron is hot here. But I also really want to get my finances under control. Standard of living is taking a real dip due to my tax hikes. And that's contributing to radicalization. Population continues to increase, that's what I want to see. Oh, but I don't want this to go away and disappear before I can make use of it, because I really do want to have a better suffrage law. Alright, we're going to do it. We're going to flip the government up, turn it upside down. We're going to drop taxes back to normal. And then we're going to take a shot at universal suffrage. Sorry. Predictably, the capitalists are salty about this, but our chances are good right now, so I'm hoping we can be able to do this. We've got actually a really, really high success chance, so I'm hoping and praying. And this time, if I get reductions, I'll need to take them, because universal suffrage is really good, and this will put power into the hands of the people, and that's really important, in my humble opinion. Can't bring the trade unions into the government. Don't have that kind of legitimacy yet. But they'll likely join the current party. Did my chance go down? I'm hoping not. Oh, Mysore. Excellent. I'm very pleased to have good relations with you, Mysore. Wonderful. Ooh, we're getting an import route from tools from the Russian market. Somehow Russia got China in their market. Oh my goodness. What is going on? I just gave you free trade. I just gave you free trade. Well. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it for the rest of 1860, and we'll see if we can get there. This progress is very, very slow. So hopefully, maybe I'll be able to get there before there's a major problem. I would really, really love to be able to get universal suffrage. I would be absolutely tickled. Can I get... Is there an agitator who I can get in my country who would support universal suffrage? No. This is very sad. Who... See, these landowners... They're very... I don't love that they're doing this. This does always be happening, and, I wish they wouldn't. I wish they would just let me fix the country by themselves. The industrialists are also against this, which isn't shocking because they truly do enjoy wealth voting, and they don't like it that the common people can vote. But I've got a great chance. I've got a good movement. I really want universal suffrage. So we'll see how this ends up going. As far as the country's finances, we're doing a good job, despite having reduced taxes, of getting back to having a bit of a reserve. Population growth is high, so we're starting to have... sorry, 1 second here. Protesting the payment of wages in the form of scrip, credit only exchangeable at a company store, workers of the major paper mills in Norland have commenced a riot, torching the controversial store and marching on the company's main offices, demanding the institution of cash wages. You load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I don't actually know how the tune of that song goes, so I'm not singing it, but I would sing it. The nature of payments is a company matter. Break up the riot. Versus radicals. It does make the industrialists happier. Or let us not fan the flames. There is merit to the workers' demands. That makes the industrialists angry. But it gets reduced. You know what? I'm going to do this. Because I think the industrialists being happier is something that I think will slow down this movement, this revolutionary movement. So I'm inclined, and also like these guys should not be raising a ruckus with me right now. I think, and in fact, I'm quite sad that they've decided to follow the path of the ruckus, because I don't want there to be a ruckus. I want there to be voting. Speed. We'll see where we are here once this finishes, and then I'll put a pin in it for this session, because gosh, do I really love the idea of getting a fully functional everything in this point in history. Netherlands, I really, why do you keep wanting to damage relations? We do also have a defensive pact with Prussia. And Prussia, as you can see, has just quite a strong army, so I think we'll be able to win this war if we, Oh my gosh, you cannot give me a stall this time. Alright, well, we'll cut through some of the red tape. Oh, that's really frustrating. Why do we have to get a stall? Alright, well, we'll do one more event. Heavy-handedness. Oscar Bernadotte mistook an enemy in the Church of Sweden. After accusing them of false charges, moderates in the Church of Sweden defected the industrialist cause. Their new bedfellows may not be so accommodating. That'll make both of those groups stronger. Maybe, or maybe, Simon Sederström, the head of the Church of Sweden, will weaken himself. Or Oscar Bernadotte should stand down. There's a judgment, interest group, pop attraction, and lose popularity. That's a tough time. I really would not like to do this, because that'll weaken my intelligentsia, and they're important in this. But this would be a risk. So I'll just let it stand down. We'll slow down the revolution a little bit. Anyway, that is what it is. We'll see what happens in our next session. But for now, I've had fun. I hope you've had fun. I'll see you all on the other side.